My name is Mason. I'm here with Jeremiah and Dallin, and these are our rhetorical devices. We have alliteration, illusion, and amplification.
Alliteration, reoccurrence of initial consonant sounds. An example is a series of words that have the same consonant sound, like she sells shells down by the seashore. So it's kind of like a series of words that sound similar. Allusion, short informal reference to a famous person or event. A person makes an indirect reference to a person or event. So an example is you're a regular Einstein. So kind of comparing a person to an individual who is well known.
Alright, amplification is repeating a word or expression while adding more detail to it. So for my example, I put this hot dog is delicious, this hot dog makes me feel good. And amplification is just basically a noun and then just adding more onto it.
So our group is Brandon and Hunter, and our words are anaphora, anadiplosis, and synechidoche.
The first one, synedoche, is a type of metaphor in which the part stands for the whole. And a couple examples are four wheels on fire and teens and cell phones. And then anadipolis is repetition of word or phrase at or very near the beginning of the next clause or sentence. And our example is his eyes filled with fear struck everyone. Then anaphora is repetition of the same word or words at the beginning of successive phrases, clauses, or sentences. And examples are we shall fight the enemy, we shall fight them all, we shall fight as one.
Alright, I'm Hunter with Vanessa, and we had antimetabole, antithesis, and assonance. So antimetabole is repeating words but changing what they mean with context. For example, the meaning of life is giving life a meaning, and the antithesis is using things that are similar together to mean something else based on the context, which is like, it was the best of times at the worst of times. Assonance is repeated sounds given from vowels, like he drank hot tea just before 3.
Alright, so our group, we did a synonym and climax, and it's by Gabriella and Paige Bolt. So a synonym, a meaning of conjugation between words, phrases, or clauses, is like leaving and out, so it's like self-confidence, message, and impact without the and. And then the climax is good, a good, better, or best structure. So with like the one peak, so it's like good, but 2 pieces better, and the full peak says best.
Our words are apostrophe, Epizootic Sis, and Aphony. So apostrophe is repetition at the end of a current phrase, and example is as I was a child, I understood as a child, I was a child. Epizootic Sis is repeating of a word in a structure like oh the horror, the horror, the horror. And Aphony is substitution and a tribute for a well-known person with the appropriate estimate. Like Einstein is considered to be smart.
We had hyperbole and metaphor by Trent and Maya. And hyperbole is deliberately exaggerates conditions for emphasis, like saying someone is so hungry they could eat a whole cow, even though it's highly not likely. And then metaphor is comparison between 2 things, like saying the classroom was a wild zoo, because the classroom and a zoo are nothing alike, but yeah.
We had oxymoron, paradox, and parallipsis. Oxymoron is a contradiction between opposite things. Paradox is a sentence opposite that contradicts itself. Parallipsis is to give emphasis by saying little or nothing about a subject.
Like an oxymoron, stop sign that is green. A paradox saying the blue button is true and then the red button is false. And then parallipsis is saying ignore this text, but it's extremely highlighted and hard to miss.
We had parallelism, personification, and pleonasm by Connor and Jonathan. Parallelism gives two or more parts of the sentence a similar form. An example is like father, like son, or the escaped prisoner was wanted dead or alive. And the other word, personification, gives a non-living object human traits and qualities. An example is the light from the lamp jumped in the room. And then the other word is pleonasm, and the use of more words than are necessary to convey meaning, like I could fill with my own two hands.
We had Procatolipsis, Rhetorical Question and Simile, and it's by Deandre Rizzo and Thomas Almeida.
So procatolipsis is when someone tries to prove you wrong but you know you're right, so you just like reject what they say. And a rhetorical question is not really a question, it's more to make a point. And
Simile is comparing two things, like using like or as, so you're as bright as the sun, or like two peas in a pod.